Hi, and welcome to another episode of All Things Considered. Tonight, and yes it is nighttime, which, sorry about that, I do all my videos at night. Even if I did them during the day, you wouldn't notice much of a difference because I'm in my apartment. So anyway, what I want to talk to you about is about the King County Regional Homeless, the King County Regional Homeless Authority, which is being done in Seattle and King County. But first, what I want to talk to you about, I have a t-shirt that was given to me by a friend of mine, and it was done as a joke. It's by a company called Big Dog, and I happen to like that company because I like the idea that they use the dog as a symbol. But on the back of my t-shirt, which he gave it to me as a joke because it says, "I dare you to picture me naked." And he figured because I'm a little overweight that people would get a chuckle out of that. Well, I was a little upset with the t-shirt at first until I understood what it meant. It doesn't literally mean picture me with no clothes on. What it means is picture me without any preconceived notions. I'm not your brother, I'm not your family, I'm not your friend, I'm just a guy. Like I'm a guy behind a camera and in front of a camera, and I'm doing videos for my YouTube channel that deal with Seattle. I'm coming to you naked. I'm not trying to be somebody, I'm not trying to promote myself. I'm not trying to run for, well, I take that back. I am kind of trying to run for office, mayor of Seattle in 2025. But other than that, I'm just a guy that cares about Seattle and the people that live there. And I'm doing a video based on what I believe is something that's important to me. And I've done a lot of videos, and a lot of people have either viewed them or not viewed them. I don't have a lot of subscribers, which I just got a new subscriber today, so you know who you are. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. And to all my other subscribers, which isn't very many, but thank you for subscribing, whether it was an accident or not an accident. If you like my stuff, that's great. If you don't like my stuff and you think I can do better, let me know. Put it in a comment. That's what the comments are for. So anyway, I'm going to go with this. The King County Regional Homeless Authority, which they just passed that into, they just passed that, so it's going forward. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you what it is, what it's supposed to do. And then I will kind of give you information on why I think it may not work the way they planned, and I will tell you why I think it may be a bad idea. The agency will house Seattle and King County's homelessness services. Its shelters, its emergency response teams, its case management systems, its diversion and prevention programs under one roof. The governing board will develop long-term plans for addressing homelessness. Countywide, oversee applications for federal grants, conduct the one-night count, create a new ombuds office to act as a single point of contact for customers, i.e. people experiencing homelessness, that coordinate referral to services and housing programs. It will not include, according to the interim director of the Seattle Human Services Department, Jason Johnson, Seattle's navigation team. So Durkin's administration will still be able to sweep homeless encampments or obstructions as they please. The board will also pool money from Seattle, King County, and small cities who'd like to participate and propose a budget for how to spend the money on all these programs they now oversee. Each member of the steering committee will have an up or down vote on that budget. Now, the pros for that, they're starting something. And it's about time that they've started something. The cons is that they want to put all the existing shelters into this program. Now, the Salvation Army, the Union Gospel Mission, I'm not going to say so much the Downtown Emergency Service Center. I'm going to say maybe, but I'm not really for sure. But I know the Salvation Army and the Union Gospel Mission, they're not going to like anybody dipping hands into their pockets. They make a crap load of money off of the homeless each year, especially around Thanksgiving and around Christmas. They make a crap load of money. And they don't stay in business by being a charitable organization. Of course, they don't have to pay taxes, which is a plus for them, but all the money that's donated and all the stuff that's donated is tax write-offs. Although they are tax deductible, they're non-taxable, they have tax exemption. So if they're going to be put underneath this umbrella and be told how they can and can't use their money, they're not going to like that. They're going to give a whole stink load of problems. They're going to give this the stink eye, if you know what I mean. So they want to talk about the homeless problem. Everyone, talk. They all want to talk. They all want to talk. Talk. Well, that's fine and dandy, but the time for talk is over. I have said this loads of times where I have told people that I believe that the homeless should be rounded up. These encampments, so to speak, these tenements, these tent-aments, they are given the opportunity to either leave or go to what I call a workable shelter. That is a place where the homeless can be and they can get counseling, they can get help. I've talked about this in other videos. I think the time for talk is over. The city of Seattle has allowed the homeless to be homeless for way too long. Now, I'm not upset with the homeless. I'm not angry at you. I understand. I was homeless for a long time, so I know. But I also understand that it's not healthy to allow the homeless to stay homeless, because you don't know if you're going to get another winter like you got last year. That Arctic blast could happen again. You just never know. And if it does, the homeless are going to be up a creek without a paddle, because they could freeze to death if it gets as cold as it did last year. Now, if it's mild like it usually is, they can kind of work through it. And I've mentioned this before. There are 3 Sam's Clubs that are not being used for anything. They could be rehabbed if it was to be done. They could do it rather quickly, and it can be done rather quickly, and it can be done appropriately. If they were to fix that, then they would turn around and have a place for the homeless to live. You'd need a lot of cots donated so they could have a place to sleep. You would need to have police presence to make sure that there's no violence and nobody breaks out in a cold sweat and decides to steal from somebody. You don't want anybody doing drugs or drinking on the property. You'd have to have counselors to help people find drug and alcohol rehabilitation centers. You'd have to have people there to help find apartments if that's what they need, is just housing. You can live there for 6 months as long as you are paying so much of your money, which is being put away for you. You'll get a receipt for it. You will pick it up when your 6 months is over. If you're not doing anything constructive during that time and you're just being lazy and shirking off, then you'll be forced out of the shelter and out of the state of Washington. If you want to stay homeless, you can do that. You just can't do it in the city of Seattle or the state of Washington. You will have to move. That is my idea for fixing the homelessness problem. Now, back to what I really wanted to talk to you about is, let's see here. Oh yeah, here we go. Seattle City Council approves Regional Homeless Authority. They've approved it. King County Council Member Jean Cole W-E-L-L-E-S, Wells, Jean Cole Wells, released a statement shortly after the vote Monday afternoon in part. Today makes a new chapter in how we as a region respond to the homelessness by ending our fractured approach and replacing it with a consolidated regional authority that will provide cost efficiencies and cost effectiveness in responses to our homelessness crisis. That's good in theory, but can you put that into practice? She also added that no new taxpayer funds will be expended for the legislation. Rather, it's to make sure tax money is being spent wisely. Final approval for the Regional Homeless Authority is the culmination of more than a year of work by City, County, and other stakeholders. Following an initial announcement by Seattle Mayor Jenny Durkin and King County Executive Dow Constantine in December of 2018 about their intent to create the new agency. In September, the two leaders, along with other elected officials, finally revealed a specific proposal, the new Regional Homeless Authority that would initially merge Seattle and King County emergency homeless response systems. That announcement was met with concern from some on both councils, including County Council Member Regan, who publicly criticized the plan before it was even officially announced. Yeah, there's some people that are just going to be naysayers. They don't care what it is. They don't care how it's going to be done. They're just going to say it ain't going to work. He announced an alternative of his own. The original policy committee, King County Council and Seattle City Council continued to meet over the next several months and seemed as though the regional authority was not going to be approved before 2020, when new councils would be in place, but it has. Among the issues, suburban cities were concerned they were not going to have enough of a voice in the regional authority. There are also accountability concerns over the original plan, giving most of the power over the agency to non-elected subject experts on homelessness. Yeah, I can see that as a problem. I can. Then, over the Thanksgiving break, Cole Wells, a RPC member, did some last-minute negotiating. She came up with a compromise that shifted most of the authority to elected officials on the governing board of the new agency and away from the implementation of board experts, while also gave suburban cities more of a voice. It also ditched plans to have the regional agency created as a public development authority, instead creating the agency under a city council partnership known as interlocal agreement that, unlike the PDA, does not include a path to eventually gaining taxing authority to raise revenue for the homeless effort. Citizens are not going to like taxing. They hate it because they think the homeless are just lazy bums, and not all of you think that way, but there's a lot of you that do. And I know this because when I was homeless, I had a lot of people say, why can't you just get a job, you lazy bum? Well, hey, this is Seattle. And unless you're a high-tech individual, unless you know tech and things of that nature, the jobs, people needing jobs outweigh the jobs that are available. Now, back here it said that Council member Regan Dunn, who publicly criticized the plan before it even officially announced, offered an alternative of his own. Let me see what his alternative is. It says here, okay, let me go to this. King County Councilmember Dunn made no secret about the fact that he wasn't a fan of the new Regional Homeless Authority proposed by King County Executive Dow Constantine and Seattle Mayor Jenny Durkin. We can do better than more bureaucrats and more taxes, Dunn said in a statement last Thursday. This new law of government would be undemocratically structured. We're not a fucking democracy here. We're a republic. Pardon my French, I shouldn't have said that word, but we're a republic here. America was not founded as a democracy. We were founded as a republic. It lacks representation of suburban cities and be yet another expense on taxpayers. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into him, but Regan Dunn, I'm going to contact him and I'm going to explain to him my idea for helping fix the homeless problem. I'm not going to help fix the homeless problem. My idea fixes the problem. It does. I've been working on this for over 10 years now, trying to figure out how to effectively get the homeless off the street without hurting the homeless in the process. I don't want to step on any toes, but the homeless cannot stay homeless because it's not healthy for them. It's not healthy for them to stay homeless, and it's not healthy for the citizens of Seattle to have the homeless in their city. Yes, the homeless are people. I understand that. The homeless are people and they need to be respected as people, but you cannot allow them to stay in a harmful situation. If we care about the homeless as much as we say we do, we can't allow the homeless to stay homeless because it's not good for them. It's very unhealthy and very unstable for them. Not just weather-wise, but drug-wise, which there's a problem with drugs. It's also not healthy because of an emotional and mental state. Like I said, I've been homeless for a long time, and I understand. You're out there, you're trying to make sure your stuff doesn't get stolen. It's a wear and tear on you, trying to figure out where you're going to go all day. And it's a wear and tear on where you're going to eat and what you're going to do. And if you work nights, if you are working and you work nights, the homeless shelters are not created for the people that work nights. They're created for the day people. The ones that work during the day and come home in the afternoon, yeah, they can get into the shelter and sleep all night. We need to fix the problem, not just talk about it. We need to fix it. And they think talking about it is going to work. Anyway, if you have an idea for how to fix the problem, and it's similar to mine or it's different than mine, put a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. If you love the city of Seattle as much as I do, and you want to make it better, and you want to make it the way it used to be, which was really great, by the way, that's my personal opinion. But if you want to make Seattle great again, put a comment below. Help me out. 2025, Mayor of Seattle. That's what I'm planning on doing, running for mayor. If you like my videos, please put a big old thumbs up. If you want to subscribe to my videos, please hit the subscribe button down here somewhere. If you have an idea for a better video or a way to make my videos better, put a comment below. Let me know. I'd love to talk to you. This has been All Things Considered. Have a good night, Seattle, and all points beyond.